The 2026 Ohio State schedule is officially locked in. Let's talk about what the Buckeyes face as they try to get back to the Big Ten championship and perhaps win their first Big Ten championship since 2020. What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year-round. If you're into that, hit that subscribe button, like this video, answer the question in the comments below. Do you think that Ohio State can pull the double on the road at Oregon and at Indiana, as those are the two games that really cry out for me as I take a look at this 2026 schedule? This is a year in which Ryan Day will once again be going into this season with at least one new coordinator on the offense or defense. You'll know that Matt Patricia went into year one as a defense coordinator, and after some hemming and hawing by many Buckeye fans, put together the number one scoring defense in the country. They fell short in the Big Ten championship game and again against Miami in the quarterfinals of the college football playoff, but there is no reason to believe that the Buckeyes can't get back to the Big Ten championship game given the roster and the talent they have. Julian Sand, Bo Jackson, Jeremiah Smith. I think Jalen McClain is going to become a household name very, very soon on the Buckeye defense. But really, this conversation begins with Arthur Smith as the new offensive coordinator at Ohio State. And he's not going to be an on-the-road assistant, which is something I've never heard of from an offensive coordinator. They don't need it. But again, it's very much a guy that's bringing in NFL pedigree, NFL offense. And when he was calling plays for the Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry rushed for 2,000 yards. Ryan Tannehill kind of looked like a superhero. And when he was at Pittsburgh, they made the playoffs, had the fourth best rushing offense in the country. So I think there's something to that. Now, the other part to take a look at here is that the Buckeyes should be undefeated by the time they really get into this stuff and we start talking about just who they can be later on in the season. So they start the season September 5th versus Ball State. And then they're at Texas. Now, we knew this was coming, and we knew the return trip was going to be very, very interesting as Arch Manning and Jeremiah Smith, once again, are on, opposite sides of the sideline, and I expect that to be box office stuff. It was a low-scoring affair at the Buckeyes, won 14-7 at the Shoe. Would not shock me again if these two programs enter in as both ranked and teams that people expect to make the college football playoff, if not play for the national championship. Really locked in on this one. I think Arch Manning is going to have a really great season. I think Jeremiah Smith can win the Heisman Trophy. Next on, we have September 19th versus Kent State. That's okay. Every single time we think the Buckeyes put together a program that is in state, probably going to dominate, but that's okay. It's what you expect. Golden Flashes, they need the money. Good for them. Maybe they can score, 3 points here or there. Versus Illinois ought to be interesting. Brett Bielema has done a really great job with the Illini. They fell short of their expectations, expecting to be what Indiana was in 2024 and 2025. Luke Altmaier kind of came apart. They got destroyed by Indiana. Didn't seem to bounce back from that at all. Even if they got the win against USC later on, still just did not turn out the way they wanted to. And they got bounced by an SEC team in the bowl game again. And then they're versus Maryland. They ought to beat Mike Locksley's program, but we'll see, right? You can never really tell with Locks. Sometimes that program's offense can go. Sometimes it's just what it is. Then they're at Iowa. Playing against Kirk Ferentz's teams is always hard. It's never easy. It's always going to be low scoring. They're always going to try to play ball control, and Phil Parker's defense is going to be hunting. Playing at Kinnick, even more difficult. It is not an easy place to win, but the Buckeyes can go in there and do just that. I would expect nothing less. Then October 17th, circled on the calendar at Indiana. The reigning national champions, the reigning Big Ten champions, the team that first knocked off the number one team in the country that was the Buckeyes in the Big Ten championship. They'll do it without Heisman winner Fernando Mendoza or Omar Cooper or Elijah Surratt. They're going to have to retool, but Nick Marsh, Josh Hoover, these are guys you expect to step up. Got both the coordinators coming back, Mike Shanahan, Brian Haynes. That's going to be a tremendous game at Indiana in Bloomington. I expect it to be sold out. I expect it to be an atmosphere unlike any we've ever seen at Indiana before. Then they're Iowa. right? And I'm not sure that that's the way I would want to put my idle week if I'm the Buckeyes. I probably want to have it just before I play Indiana, but it is what it is. So they're going to have to play Ball State, Texas, Kent State, Illinois, Iowa, Maryland, and Indiana before they get a bye. That's 7 games. But if they get to 7-0, we're talking about a team that everybody's going to pick to win the national championship after they beat what I expect to be an undefeated Indiana. But that's not a foregone conclusion, right? That's a game they could lose, honestly. That's a game they could lose. It's a game that Indiana could win. I mentioned Idle October 24th, and they're at USC. For the first time in a regular season ball game, they're playing against USC. Now, where's that game going to get played? Because, we're already having these conversations about what we expect the World Cup to do or not do, and then you're talking about what the Olympics are going to do. I expect it to be at the Rose Bowl, but I'm just throwing that out there right now. Like, I realize you want to play that game at the Rose Bowl. If you could get that game played at SoFi, you probably should. But that's neither here nor there, and they would probably have to do a whole other thing to try to get that done. But that's what I would want for that. I think you could sell out SoFi for USC, Ohio State, especially if both teams are ranked with an opportunity to make the playoff or play for the Big Ten championship. Then Oregon, Dan Lanning got to come to Columbus to play. Now, the last time that Oregon came to Columbus to play, Mario Cristobal got a win, right? But we know that this has been a box office game. Ohio State, Oregon has just been really good. They played at Autzen. Oregon won that game. They played again in the college football playoff. Ohio State won that game. Now, both are coming in with returning starters at quarterback, but new coordinators on the offensive side of the ball for both, and then a new one on the defensive side for Oregon. But again, elevating up, so it shouldn't be that big a deal. And you hope that your running back room and your wide receiver room are completely healthy, and then we get a really great ball game between those two that sets us up really well for the college football playoff rankings November 7th, following November 7th. Then they're versus Northwestern. That'll be interesting. That'll be Chip Kelly versus a Buckeyes team that he coordinated to a national championship. That's fun. Then they're at Nebraska. The Matt Rule experience continues to go on. Dylan Raiola will not be there. Still wild to me, right? Raiola, who be backing up Dante Moore at Oregon. It's kind of interesting. And then you finish with Michigan. So that is the schedule as I see it. The game that I think, there are 2 games here that I already pointed out that should worry Buckeye fans, right? It's at Indiana, who's a force, and Oregon, who's going to be good. Both those teams made the college football playoff, made the semifinal. Both of those teams went further into the playoffs this year than the Buckeyes did. But this is the strongest conference in all of college football, and the last 3 national champions have reigned from it, and they've been 3 different teams: Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana. Oregon expects to be the 4th one. We'll see just how close they get, but that is how I see this going down. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think the Buckeyes can run through this program undefeated?